Very good morning, students. So the last class, we discussed about a resolution of vectors. In this resolution of vector is, generally vector can be resolved into infinite number of components. So based on their dimension, the vector can be resolved. Clear? So that in case of a two dimension, the vector can be resolved into two components, and based on the three dimension, the vector can be resolved into three components. So like that it is to be classified, right? So in this case here, I'll tell you one thing. Now let us will move to in case of a three dimension. So because two dimension is already finished, let us will see the related to three dimension. So suppose if you take a three dimensional plane, so in that plane, see three dimension, therefore vector can be resolved into three components. I'll give you one. You take a one cube, right? So the cube is it is like this. Coming to the like, see in this cube, once you look at, we'll get the three axes. Here it is the one axis, this represented as x, and you take another one is, it is represented as y. You take a z is to be like this. So along a x, see here it is actually three dimension. In this three dimension, if a vector, you represent a one vector, the vector is actually, we should draw a like this vector. It is not possible to draw now, so that you take a vector is a. So that now a can be resolved into three components. It is depend on their angles. Suppose the angle with x-axis, therefore that a vector can be resolved with the angle of x. So I'll give you another diagram also, similar diagram. Let us you take a like, clear, x, same, y, and z is the this axis. So x is represented as I cap. Here also you want to write I, it is j, and it is k cap, right? And here y is represented as a j cap, and z is represented as a k cap. Now you take a one vector. That vector is, suppose same, here above is given, no, same you take, that is a vector is like this. A is a vector. So that a we can represent as a is equal to ax I cap, ay j cap, right? And az k cap, because it is along x axis we can say ax, along a y axis is ay, along a z axis is az. Therefore magnitude of a is equal to root over ax square plus ay square plus az square. It is represented as the magnitude. Now let us, based on their angles, suppose the vector a is making an angle with x-axis is, you say alpha. Now based on the alpha angle with x-axis, clear? Everyone remember? I told you in the previous class also, very clear. Angle with the axis, that represented as the cos, and other axis is represented as a sine. Here in this situation in three dimension, you take only the angle with the axis only you take. I'll tell you, that is ax is equal to a, it is represented as cos alpha, because it is making an angle with x-axis is alpha. So that along x, it represented as ax is equal to a cos alpha. And coming to the point, see other axis actually represented as the sine, but you don't write a sine angles, we'll see in the last. Okay, now let us you go with the same axis which making an angle with the y-axis is, you supposed to say beta. Then again with the beta angle, the vector a can be again resolved into two components. No doubt it is. Here very simple. Angle with the axis is represented as the cos. So that here you write ay is equal to a cos beta, because it is a beta with the angle, no? See, angle with the y-axis is beta. So based on that you say that represented as the ay is equal to a cos beta. And you go for the next angle, that is we can say with z axis it is making an angle gamma. Therefore along a z, Again it is a vector A can be resolved into components. So that you say along a Z is, that is cos gamma. See, all sine angles are you leave. We'll see in the final derivation we'll get the sine angles. So that here, now vector can be resolved into 3 components based on their dimension. That's what. Vector A, it is making an angle with x-axis is alpha. Now, with the angle of alpha, that is Ax is equal to A cos alpha. And vector A is making an angle beta with the y-axis. Therefore, with the angle beta, that is Ay is equal to A cos beta. And you go with the same. With the z-axis, it is making an angle gamma. Therefore, you say Az is equal to A cos gamma. And coming to the, I'll tell you another one also. In general, this side heading is, it is 3 dimension, or we can also call direction cosines. We can also say direction cosines. Direction cosines. See, direction cosines, that mean you, along x-axis is one direction is represented, along a y-axis is represented another direction, and along a z-axis is represented as another direction, because the x-axis is represented as a cos alpha, that we can call cosine angle. So, here along x-axis, the direction cosine is represented as L. Like here, along a y-axis also cos angle is there, no? Along this axis, again it is represented as the M is the direction cosine. And you go over the next one. Along a Z, again it is cos is represented, no? Therefore, along this N is the direction cosine. Therefore, here you write, let L, M, N or the direction cosines. You say here direction cosines. Direction cosines, right? Coming to the point is here. So, along a x direction cosine L, no? Now, let us will write like this here. Ax is equal to A cos alpha. From here, cos alpha is equal to Ax by magnitude A, and which is represented as the direction cosine is L. Like that, in the same way, you write a next also, that is cos beta is equal to Ay by A magnitude, or else you want to write like this again. Say Ay is equal to A cos beta. From this, cos beta is equal to Ay by magnitude of A. So, which represented as M is the direction cosine. And let us, we'll go for the next one. Az is equal to A cos gamma. Therefore, it is cos gamma is equal to Az by A. Say, which represented as the direction cosine is N. Okay, these all are magnitudes. We know magnitude is root over ax square plus ay square plus az square. Let us will move to the next one. See, here I'll tell you one thing. This direction cosines you take like this. Let L square plus m square plus n square is equal to, you say, 1. Okay. Now, L is represented as a cos alpha. M is represented as a cos gamma, and last one is N is represented as a cos gamma, right? Let us hear. I'll tell you another one. Here you write here that let L square plus m square plus n square is equal to 1. What is L here? You write simply, it is cos square alpha, m is cos square beta, n is cos square gamma is equal to 1. And there is a one trigonometry identity is there, that is, here it is sin square alpha plus cos square alpha is equal to 1. Like you take next angle also, cos square sin square beta plus cos square beta is equal to 1. You want to go for the next angle, cos square gamma plus sin square gamma is equal to 1. So, anyone you take, and based on that we will write all also. So that you write here cos square alpha is equal to 1 minus sin square alpha. Let us you replace this cos square alpha, replace with 1 minus sin square alpha. Suppose I want to say about a cos square beta. So that here cos square beta is equal to 1 minus sin square beta. And here cos square gamma I want to say, so that cos square gamma is equal to 1 minus sin square gamma. See, we can write like this, so that based on the trigonometry identity, now you replace this all with the signs. So that here we may get like this, 1 minus sin square alpha plus 1 minus sine square beta plus 1 minus sine square gamma is equal to 1. Is it okay? See, this is the approach will be like this. So that here 1 plus 1 plus 1. So that 3 minus, you look at here, minus sine square alpha minus sine square beta minus sine square gamma. From that you take a minus is common. So that we will get like this, sine square alpha plus sine square beta plus sine square gamma, which is equal to 1. So 3 you take this side, therefore minus of sine square alpha plus sine square beta plus sine square gamma is equal to 1 minus 3. So that minus of again sine square alpha plus sine square beta plus sine square gamma, which is equal to minus 2. So that is cancelled. Then here sine square alpha plus sine square beta plus sine square gamma is equal to 2. See, this is the way we should approach in case of a 3-dimensional plane. In case of a 3-dimension, the vector can be resolved into 3 components. So that one is along x-axis, which we can say ax is equal to a cos alpha and here along a y-axis ay is equal to a cos beta, and along a z-axis we can say az is equal to a cos gamma. This is the resolutions in case of a 3-dimensional plane, right? Yeah, you go through this. This is the direction cosines relation. Okay, yeah, this is about a direction cosines. So here it is represented as sine square alpha plus sine square beta plus sine square gamma is equal to 1. See, based on this, I'll tell you one example problem also. Let us, we have to find the direction cosines. Suppose if a vector A is equal to, it is given as I cap plus j cap plus k cap. So it is in a 3-dimension. Now is asking find a direction cosines. That is, direction cosines are nothing but L, M, N or the direction cosine. Here the given question is, see, instead of here the problem will be given like this. So you remember direction cosines are L is equal to cos alpha, Ax by A, M is equal to cos beta, Ay by A, N is equal to cos gamma, that is Az by A. You remove this all and here let us. The given question is, the problem is given like this. There is a one problem, it is example one problem. A is equal to I cap plus j cap plus k cap. K cap. Now is asking find direction cosines. L is question mark, M is question mark, N is question mark. Direction cosines is asking. The direction cosines are nothing but a, here we know that is L, M, N, R. So that L, M, N, N. So that here we have to get first L value. Cos alpha is equal to, you say Ax by magnitude A. So that here A is given, no? By using that you get first magnitude. So that is root over, because I cap is, it is a component is 1, j cap component is 1, k cap component is 1. So that 1 square plus 1 square plus 1 square. So that the magnitude A is equal to, we will get the root 3. Let us, direction cosine will be Ax. It is nothing but a, you compare or you want to write A is equal to Ax I cap, Ay j cap, Az k cap. You take like this. So Ax is equal to 1 by magnitude is root 3. So this is the direction cosine. Like you take a next also Ay is equal to, you compare here is 1 is there. So that 1 by magnitude A is root 3 and Az which is equal to 1 by root 3. This is the way to do the problem in case of a direction cosine if any problem is given in the examination. So, this is the method to do the problems. Clear? These are related to direction cosines problem. Right? Let us see, this is all related to direction cosine in two-dimensional plane. So, we'll move to the next one, that is next topic. In this case or in this chapter, in this vectors, there is one very important question is there related to 4 marks in IPE, that is parallelogram law of vectors, parallelogram law of addition vector. We can call parallelogram law of addition vector. Let us will move to the next question, which is very important in the final examination, because they will ask you for 4 marks question, that is a parallelogram law of addition vector. Right here, that is a parallelogram, right, parallelogram law of addition vector. It is related to additions. So, parallelogram law of addition vector. I'll explain you statement. I think everyone know related to the parallelogram. Parallelogram is nothing but in maths, opposite sides are equal. So, now I am giving the parallelogram, like let us, it is the like this. See, you say opposite sides are equal, and here this you take like this. Okay, see, this is the parallelogram. In this parallelogram, you say it is an origin, it is a A, and it is a B, and it is a C. Everyone concentrate, because this is the very important for IPE 4 marks question. Clear? I'll explain you. Right, coming to the point is, in general it is addition vector. So that you take I'll tell you one thing. Here if a single vector, for a single vector we don't have any resultant, because single cannot keep the particle in equilibrium. So if 2 vectors or more than 2 vectors, then we'll have a resultant. So in case of a parallelogram, you take 2 vectors, that is adjacent sides of a parallelogram. P is a vector, Q is the another vector. So that the P and Q are the adjacent sides of a parallelogram. Anywhere you say, here also you take, here also P it is, and it is also Q. You take any 2 vectors, that are adjacent sides of a parallelogram, and here the angle between the 2 vectors you take as a theta. And here if 2 vectors are represented adjacent sides of a parallelogram, so there is a directions are very important in case of a parallelogram, because it is represented as a vectors, no, so that the vector is nothing but that must be direction and magnitudes are required. So that if P and Q are the adjacent sides of a parallelogram, okay, are represented in parallelogram, therefore their resultant is represented. Of these 2 vectors, a resultant is represented, which passes through the origin of the parallelogram, and it is passes through the diagonal of the parallelogram, and the point of intersection is same for the P and Q. So it is represented as, so you take a addition, no? Suppose you add like this, magnitude of 2 vectors. Sir, what we have to find by using this parallelogram? And before that, I'll tell you statement. If 2 vectors are represented by the adjacent sides of a parallelogram, if 2 vectors are represented by the adjacent sides of a parallelogram, and then their resultant also represented both in magnitude and direction, their resultant is represented both in magnitude and direction, and which passes through the origin, and it is passes through the diagonal of the parallelogram, because it is a diagonal, and that point of intersection must be same of P and Q. So it is the parallelogram law statement. Now we'll see, R is equal to magnitude of P plus Q, no? Now in this actually we have to find, here we have to find the resultant magnitude is 1. This is the question mark. We have to find resultant magnitude. This is the actually question magnitude we have to find. Second, direction of resultant, that we can say alpha. See, both these we should find it. So here you take this resultant is making an angle alpha with the P, and this is making an angle beta with the Q. Resultant is making. Now let us, I'll tell you one thing here. Before going to this proof, I'll give you some OC is equal to, because OC is represented as P as well as AB also. These are the represented as P. And you go for the next. OA is equal to, you take BC. It is represented as Q. Right? And here, coming to the next one, that is OB is equal to represented as R, and it is equal to magnitude of P plus Q. This is we know from the diagram. And here you remember, in case of a parallelogram, actually there is no right angle triangle. So that let us construct a one right angle triangle by extending from B onto the horizontal. So from horizontal on also extend like this. So which makes an angle theta same, right? Now here there is a right angle triangle, look at, see, from right angle triangle, by using the right angle triangle, that is triangle OB, I think you take this is D, is the right angle triangle. See, by using this, we have to, first of all, we have to find the resultant capital R, magnitude, and after that direction alpha. Here, let us apply a Pythagoras. I think everyone know Pythagoras, that is OB square is equal to, OB square is equal to, it is BD square plus, here you say it is OD square, clear? But here, OD is equal to, look at, OD is represented as OC plus CD, OC plus CD, here you replace this, OB square is equal to, it is BD square plus OC plus CD whole square. Now let us, it is A plus B whole square, here also apply the same, A plus B whole square, it is, you take a BD square plus A plus B whole square, A square plus B square plus 2AB, this is will be like this. So in this, let us for the convenience, here for the convenience you take like this, this OC square take here and BD square take here, so that it may be represented OB. For the calculation purpose only I am taking like this, say BD square plus CD square plus 2OC and CD. Is it okay now? So this is you give as the equation number 1. Let us, we'll move to the next one. See, from another triangle is there, you look at here, another right angle triangle is there, that is BCD. From right angle triangle, another triangle you take BCD. Here also you say same Pythagoras, that is BC square is equal to, here it is a BD square plus, because hypotenuse square is equal to opposite square plus adjacent square, CD square. You say equation 2. See, from the same triangle you tell me cos theta also. Cos theta is nothing but adjacent by hypotenuse. So BC. So CD is equal to BC cos theta. You say equation 3. Now coming to the, from the same triangle you tell me sin theta also. Sin theta is represented opposite by hypotenuse. So that opposite is BD by BC. So from here BD is equal to BC sin theta. You say equation 4. Now we know 1, 2, 3. These are the 3 expressions are there. In this, OB square is equal to OC square plus BD square plus CD square. Look at here, BD square plus CD square is equal to equation 2. Here this 2 expression 2 substitute in 1, because BD square plus CD square is equal to, there it is to be BC square is there. And the same way here is actually we can write here it is a CD, we don't know, no? CD, look at here, CD is equal to BC cos theta. This use replace here. Now let us substitute now 2, 3 in 1, 3, 2, 3 substitute in 1 here. Directly you take OB square is equal to OC square plus this BD square plus CD square is equal to, here it is the BC square is there, plus 2OC into CD is represented as BC cos theta. Right? Now let us, here you see the OB is equal to, what is OB is here? Sorry, OB is capital R, and OC is nothing but a P, BC is nothing but a, here you say BC, yeah, here also you write here BC, no, this is BC is equal to Q, this replace with this value, so that here R square is equal to OC, that you say P square plus BC is nothing but a Q square plus 2 into again OC is represented as P and BC is represented as Q. So like this it is the resultant magnitude, therefore R is equal to root over P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. This is the resultant magnitude, which is very important for 4 marks. This question is very important for 4 marks. Clear? It is a resultant magnitude capital R. That capital R is equal to, we can also say, magnitude of P plus Q. That magnitude of P plus Q is equal to only root over R P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. Okay, this is the one part is finished. Again we have to prove, that is the direction alpha we have to get by the same parallelogram. Is it okay? This is the for 4 marks, and so we'll continue remaining tomorrow. Thank you very much, and you go through this derivation. Today only you finish it. Okay, practice it and write without seeing. You read the statement as well as you practice it, because it is ultimately in the final examination, it is for 4 marks. Thank you very much. We'll see you in the next class.